Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Reshmi Mukherjee is my name as well as my channel. I welcome you to this channel to learn more of English topics. We are discussing pre-board papers as you all know. Uh, so pre-board papers of different schools so that you get common questions in your board papers, ICSE papers. So many of you class 9 students here also asked for question papers. Hello Sanjay. We will also do that, but for the time being, let us finish this particular paper. We have already completed the MCQ questions from the multiple choice questions from this particular paper. We have completed the prose part. We have completed Merchant of Venice part. So just the last part, the section D part of our topic of our paper remains. We are going to do that. Before that, this is my website. You can find certain questions over here, certain written material over here. My Telegram channel, you can of course join the description. In the description box you will get the link. You will also get the link of other question papers in the description box again. Okay, not here in the website. In the description box you will get more papers link. You can practice those too. Do not forget to, the only thing that I can ask from you is, do not forget to like, share and subscribe. The more number of audience over here, the more number of members in the family, more videos you will be getting. Next, we will move to the next page about the class timings. These are the class timings. You can write them down because these are very important before your exam. At least English subject, literature and language, you will have nothing to worry about if you follow my class. Okay, this much I can guarantee. Good evening, Rinal, Arvinder. So if you follow these, as all the topics explanation are provided in the playlist, you can get them down. And Merchant of Venice से treasure trove में जो भी topics है सबके question papers है अलग से, explanation है, you will get everything. Okay, notes भी है वहाँ पे. So if you follow that, and then if you follow these live classes where we are discussing pre-board sample papers, so new sample papers and varied questions we are discussing, you will not be getting at least less than 90. This much I can guarantee. So Tuesday you have 9:45 p.m. class. I try to join as soon as possible, as soon as my other classes are over. So 9:45, 9:30, this is your timing for Tuesday and Saturday. And for Thursday and Sunday, 8:30 p.m. we will have our class. 8:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. If you stay tuned to the Telegram channel, you will get uh, your this thing. What is it? Um, what was I trying to say? Language class after we finish this. Okay, let us finish this question paper. We have already discussed one complete English literature sample paper. You will find it in the description box. You will find another one in the description box, that is your this literature paper that we are doing. Language also we will do maybe in the next class. So if you do not want to miss, because if you join the live classes your doubts are clarified over here, do not forget the timings. And the last thing, because still in certain schools you have your pre-boards in the month of January, for them this is the same thing that I will remind you, that you can share your question papers here for discussion. Even the pre-board papers you can share with me if you want them to be discussed. Just remember कि clear pictures होना चाहिए, नहीं तो it becomes difficult for me to discuss anything. Okay, and other than that, if possible you can scan them. PDF also you have to mail. Of course, the PDF you have to mail, that will be discussed over here. Okay, so English literature important poems, you can see them no in the question papers. You have already got Caged Bird, you have already got Patriot. Okay, so these two you cannot leave. Good evening, Krishanu. So let's move to the question paper. This much we have already done, right? The section B, section A part. If you haven't followed, you will get it in the description box. After that, you have your section B part. So this we have finished. This is your MCQ. This is your section B. Section B part we have already discussed. Section B is your a movie. Okay, these are the questions. If you want them, you can check the description box, you will get it. This is section C part. Last class we have done, that is Sunday's class, I think we have done section C. So today we are going to do section D. In section D, we have what? We have our poetry. Okay, we have the poetry. Let's read the first poem. Okay, let's read the first. See, I will not tell you to leave any topic. If you ask me, ki daffodils, patriot, whichever you are telling me, I will tell you that it is very important that you read the topics and go. Excuse me, because you will get your MCQs anyway, and questions will come from all the topics in MCQs. You cannot leave anything. You did not reply to my what question? If you are asking anything outside this paper, ask at the end of the class so that I can give you the answer to them. Okay. First, pay attention to this poetry. May first extract question number 6. This is from the Patriot. Open the book if you do not remember the poem properly. At least 3 paragraphs, Sanjay. It can be more than 3 also. In the body, you can write even more than 3. Good evening. So there's nobody on the housetops now, just a palsied few at the window set, for the best of the sight is all allow at the shambles gate, or the better yet by the scaffold's foot I drew. Okay, so let's move to the question part. Let's see this question number 1. I believe you can see them. Just a minute. I think this will be better. Okay. First, let's open the poem. Okay. It's in page number 31. We will discuss straight from the book itself. So, who is the speaker? I believe you can answer this question. Tell me who is the speaker over here. Short questions, I need answers from you. Long answers, I will give. You can jot down the points, important points. Who is the speaker in the extract? There is only one speaker. The poet is the speaker. No, here we will particularly mention the patriot is the speaker. Okay, we will not write the poet is the speaker. Here the patriot is speaking. He is sad to whatever is happening to him. So the speaker is the patriot. Where is he being taken? Who can tell me this one? Another 1 mark question. He is being taken to the gallows, he is being taken to the shambles gate, whatever you write is, or he is being taken to be executed. You can write any of these 3. Okay, why he is being taken over there? Number 1, he is being taken to the gallows to be executed over there. He is being taken. Acha, you have written he is being taken to the shambles gate for the execution of his misdeeds. No, for the he's going to be executed for his misdeeds. If you write for the execution of his misdeeds, इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि जो भी बुरे काम करने हैं उसको वो shambles gate में जाके वो करेगा. That is incorrect. So we will write he is being taken to the shambles gate for the second part of the answer. Why? He is being taken there to be executed for his misdeeds. For his year-long misdeeds, you can write. Okay. So simply 1 plus 1 plus 1, 3 marks we have written. Second question. Describe the scene when he had walked down the same lane, a street, a year ago. Okay, that means we have to, this is a very common question from this chapter. We have to remember I told you about the contrast. Same thing you have to write here. You have to write about the previous part. That means 1 year before. What happened to him? अच्छा, ये chapter से बहुत सारा MCQs भी है because this is an important chapter. You can find them in the MCQ playlist. Okay. So street a year ago, same street a year ago, what had happened? Same street a year ago, his path was strewn with roses and myrtle. Okay. They were welcoming him madly. People were, thronged on the tops, on the terrace, on the balconies and everywhere to welcome him. You can say that. You can say the third point, that people were overexcited to see him. People were overexcited to give anything and everything for the, or sacrifice anything and everything for the patriot. So you have read it was roses and myrtle spread throughout his path. Everyone was praising him for his achievement. You have given me 2 points. One more point you have to write. You can even talk about the church spires that had bright colored flags to welcome the patriot. You can talk about how people were thronged on the terrace, on the balconies, on the streets to welcome the patriot. Any another point? Yes, you have also written houses and buildings were swaying from the crowd. Yusuf has written the past year he was grandly welcomed by the citizens with roses and myrtles. 1 mark you have got. People came up on the housetops just to have a look at the patriot. Second point done. And the churches were decorated with bright colored flags. 3 points done. Very good. Next, we will move to the third question. Bring out the irony of the poem. Repeatedly, I told you about the irony. We have to write over here the same thing. What is the irony in this poem? The irony is just 1 year back, the poet was, the patriot was welcomed madly by his people. Okay, they were ready to sacrifice their lives for the the most important things for the patriot, and the patriot thought that he was doing something good for his people. Okay, so full 1 year he had worked for his people, and he expected, just like a farmer who would take care of his harvest, or who would take care of his crops for months and year long, so that there is a good harvest. So he was also waiting for a good harvest. He thought that his people would be happy with him after the whole year of good deeds. But actually, what had happened, the irony is what? Excuse me, that those deeds were judged as misdeeds, not good deeds, and they were taking him to the gallows to execute him. Okay, in what note does the poem end? This one is also an important question. You have to write the poem ends. What does the sun symbolize? The most important thing. Okay, the most important thing is symbolized by the sun. So the people were ready to give the most important thing to them. Okay, so he in what note does the poem end? We will say that the poem ends with an optimistic note, with a note of optimism. We can directly say, I gave you this note also. Exact same question is asked. In what note does the poem end? Okay, the poem ends with a note of optimism, because he believes that he has done something good for his people, and he will be paid well when he goes to God's hands after being executed by the people. Sanjay, what are you saying? The same path was empty, only the diseased people were on the windows and he was going to be executed. Don't write diseased, because over here policy also has a symbolic meaning. These people are disinterested. They're not even interested in, in the patriot. Not at all interested. Okay, just given up hope. Good evening, Shivani. Uh, He was pelted stones by the very same people who welcomed him madly a year ago. Okay, you can write that also. Simply 1 mark question. This is going to be or 1.5, or 2, 1. This way your marks can be divided. Okay. 1, 2, 3, no doubts. Let's move to the fourth question. Describe the speaker's physical condition. Now, of course, physical condition, we are talking about the present condition. That means we will have to write about the fifth paragraph. In the fifth stanza, you get what? You get these lines that stones were pelted on him. So, he felt that the rope was cutting his wrists that were tied behind his body. Okay, he was dragged, his wrists were cut by the ropes. Number one. Number two, his forehead bleeds, so maybe the people were pelting stones at him. Okay, 2 points done. And he was being dragged to the one more line we can add for 3 marks question. He was being dragged to the shambles gate to be executed. Physical condition done. Being dragged, he was bleeding. Okay, his forehead was bleeding. Stones were pelted at him, because stones were pelted at him. Third point, his wrists were tied behind him. Okay, very simple question. What is the central message of the poem? This one is a good question. What is the central message of the poem? What you will write over here? We will have to write that the poem talks about the general fickle-mindedness of the people. Point number 1. Four marks is there. So what we will write? Listen. The story tells us about the general fickle mindedness. Fickle mindedness means once I want to teach you, once I want to play with my dog, once I want to turn the fan on and sit and stare. So I have no proper bent of mind. Once this, once that, once I hate you, once I love you. So many things. You will see, no, there are hundreds and thousands number of breakups, isn't it? And then again with that same person, you go and patch up. Again there is quarrel. Again you break up. So that means this is fickle mindedness. You are not aware of what you are doing. So central message, first line you write that this, it talks about the general fickle mindedness of the common people. Okay. Second, number two, we should not base our work on that. Right. If we think that we should not see. If I think that okay, here 10 people will come, okay, and 10 people will judge me, and so I should not talk this way, so I should not come to the YouTube channel and teach. Okay, this happens, but there are also 90 people who like it. So it is better not to judge yourself by what other people think about you. So we will write that. First, we will write about the fickle mindedness of people. Then we will say that we should not depend on those. We should keep working. Okay, we should keep doing our work. We should judge ourselves sometimes. Think whether we are doing the right thing or not, and then we will have to keep doing that work. Okay, because sometimes people misjudge us. Sometimes they, behave like what they did with the patriot. But then again, uh, justice will never be denied, and we will get that perhaps maybe even after our death. Later on, people will surely come to know that what we have done was for their good. That's why the poem ends in optimism, no? That don't just lose hope. Maybe people misjudge you now. Maybe after your death, they will judge you correctly. They will understand that what you did for their good. Okay, so we should never lose hope. Believe in doing good deeds. So we can simply say that we should trust what in whatever we are doing. We should judge ourselves first that whether we are doing the right thing or not. Okay, and then we should keep doing that work. People will misjudge us, judge us properly, incorrectly, many ways because of people's fickle mindedness, as we see in the patriot. But then again, we should hold on to that hope, like the note of optimism in which the poem ends, and know that once we will surely get justice. Justice can never be denied. Okay, so that is the central message. Glory is short lived. No, message is given. No, see, glory is short lived. If you say, then you are moving away from the poet's idea. No, poet is trying to end the poem in what kind of a note? Optimism. No, in positivity, in hope. So we will have to end it like that only. Okay, that we should hold on to that hope. We should never lose hope. Even when this person is being taken to the gallows to be executed, okay, he is holding on to that hope. That is the central message. Downfall of a hero's fortune. Uh, the central message of the poem is that nothing is stable in this world. Someone who rises high and touches the summit of glory cannot remain at the top forever. His downfall is certain. This also you can write. This is just another part because central message. You can do one thing because it is a 4 mark question. Note of optimism means positivity कि कुछ अच्छा होगा हमारे साथ. Opposite है pessimism, मतलब negative ideas. So this poem ends with a note of optimism. Anshika, you can see what Yusuf has written. That part is correct. Just add with it that we should always keep doing the right thing because and never lose hope. Keep doing the right thing and never lose hope because justice can never be denied, and people would soon or sometime or the other realize that good thing was actually done by that particular person. That may happen after the death of the person, but it will of course happen sometime or the other. Okay, clear? So we have finished with the patriot. Excuse me. Is there anything that you want to ask from here? If you have no doubts, we will move to the next part. I believe the next question will be from your I know why the caged bird sings. Tell me if there is any doubt, then we will move to the next one. Irony of poem. Irony of poem, you will simply write that just 1 year back, people were welcoming the patriot like anything. They could sacrifice their life for him. Okay, they could sacrifice anything and everything for this particular person. Okay. However, and the patriot also did whatever he wanted to. Okay, whatever he could do, whatever was possible for him, for his people, and he thought that people would at least love him by the end of the year. And what had happened? He saw that people were totally annoyed with, people judged him that it was all his misdeeds, and he was being taken to the gallows. Stones were pelted at him. That is the irony. You think something and something else happens. You thought you will get 90 out of 100 and you did not even pass the exam. That is your irony. Okay. So let's move to the next part. Next part is, I believe I know why the caged bird sings. Let me check. Yes. So this is your extract. Read the extract from Maya Angelou's poem I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. This is your second question, question 7. The caged bird sings with fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still. His tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. This is which stanza? This is stanza number 3. Page number, I think, 29. Page number 29, stanza 3. Let's see the first question. What does the caged bird symbolize? This one every single person over here can write. Tell me. What does the caged bird symbolize? Aditya, if you see any poem, okay, any poem that I teach over here, all the figures of speech of every single poem is given. Okay, every single figure of speech for a particular chapter is given. Separately, it will be a waste of time. No, go any particular chapter you want to know the figure of speech. कि इसमें figure of speech क्या है? उस chapter में जाओ playlist में ढूंढ के, or you simply search, give the name and write my name Reshmi Mukherjee and search. You will get the chapter. वहाँ पे पूरे explanation के साथ figure of speech का भी अलग से एकदम note के जैसा it is written. There you go and find out whatever figure of speech is there. Okay. Depressed class of the black people. Caged bird symbolize African American people. African American. Okay. So we have all written correctly. It is actually caged bird is symbolizing the African American people. Or you can simply add one more word, the deprived. Don't write depressed. Okay, Kaushik. Don't write depressed. It is deprived. You can write the deprived. Okay, that means the people who were not given their rights and all. The deprived African American. So next, the caged bird symbolizes the African Americans, and the caged bird sings with a fearful trill, which means fear, as she does not know what is her future, but she still longs for freedom. How does the caged bird sing? That you have written, Vinay. The caged bird symbolizes African Americans, correct, or the deprived African Americans, you can add. Caged bird sings with a fearful trill, very good, 1 point you have written, fearful trill. Second, means you're explaining that it sings with a fearful trill because it is afraid. Of course it is afraid of the things unknown. Once it gets the freedom, there are certain things that one should be afraid of, right? Maybe after class 12 you are given freedom, okay, कि चलो अभी स्कूल में पेरेंट्स लेके नहीं जाएंगे, खुद से जाओ. लेकिन वहां पे खुद का भी तो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी बढ़ जाता है ना. पॉकेट में 10 रुपीज, 20 रुपीज, 100 रुपीज है कि नहीं, बस का भाड़ा है कि नहीं, सब कुछ देख के जाना पड़ता है. तो दैट रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी विल ऑल्सो इंक्रीज. सो दे आर आस्किंग, दे आर स्क्रीमिंग फॉर फ्रीडम, बट दे नो दैट देयर मे बी सर्टेन थिंग्स दैट विल बी risky, that will be problematic, so they are afraid of it. So afraid is your 1 point. Then what else? However, she longs for freedom. Her feet is tied every single way. She is deprived of freedom, but she keeps singing so that people come to know about the problems they face. Okay, caged bird sings with fearful trill because she doesn't know what is the future, but still has hope that it will be heard on a distant hill. Very good, Anshika. Correct. Exactly correct answer. Let's move to the second question. What is said about the caged bird just before the given extract? Acha, ISC, whoever is asking for questions, you have to share your question papers. Those will be discussed. Okay. What is said about the caged bird just before the given extract? And class 9 also, those who want, share your question papers, we will discuss them, because board exam is very close, we will have to give more importance to the board going students. So if you want me to discuss class 9 and class 11, send me the papers, we will discuss that. What is said about the caged bird just before the given extract? So before this extract, what do we have? The second part. Second stanza, but a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. So 3 marks, we will have to write 3 points. First, we can write that the caged bird looks down its narrow cage. It is, deprived of all freedom. The African Americans are deprived even of their voting rights and every single right. So they are symbolized like the caged bird whose wings are clipped and feet are also tied, so that they are doubly deprived. At this word doubly, doubly deprived. They are not just put in a cage, but उसके विंग्स भी क्लिप कर दिए हैं, उसके फीट भी टाई करके रखे हैं ताकि किसी भी तरह से फ्रीडम ना मिले. Second, third point, we can say that it is angry because of being deprived of freedom, because every single person wishes for freedom. First 3 points done. Doubly deprived वाला point add कर दो. Okay, whoever has Anshika written, Yusuf. अच्छा, doubly deprived का point you add over here. Okay, so caged bird just before the given extract, we will write these 3 points. Once again, I'll repeat. One is you talk about how the African Americans were deprived of freedom, just like the caged bird. It was not just caged, but also feet was tied and wings were clipped. Okay, so that there was no chance the bird got freedom. Okay, this angers the bird inside the cage, just like the African Americans who did not even have the voting rights. Okay, and it looks down its narrow cage. No, no, not at all required. Rote learning is the last thing that you will do. Okay, not required. नैरो केज मतलब बहुत ही रेस्ट्रिक्टेड स्पेस है. पहला वाला स्टांजा में देखो अंशिका, वहां पे लिखा है कि इट हैज द होल स्काई टू फ्लाई अराउंड. एंड ऑपोजिट साइड में केज बर्ड को क्या है, एक नैरो सा केज है जिसमें जगह ही नहीं है, मतलब मूवमेंट करने का भी ठीक से जगह नहीं है. Okay, and on the other hand, the free bird has the whole sky, claims the sky its own. No, yes, it dares to claim the sky. Okay, got it. Second one done. Third, how does the poem begin? So what you have asked, Anshika, you have got the answer for the third question also. How does the poem begin? The poem begins in optimism, optimism, positivity. It talks about the enormous amount of freedom, positivity, happiness, hope that the free bird has, or that the Americans have, white Americans have. Okay, they can claim the whole sky, every single space is their own. Okay, and it is symbolizing prosperity, positivity. Okay, first, how does the poem begin? It draws a contrast with the you can also add this, it draws a contrast with the second stanza. See, if you wear a black shirt and a white pant, or vice versa, white shirt and a black pant, contrast अच्छे से दिखता है, right? Imagine if you are wearing a, just like I'm wearing a brown t-shirt and a black pant, the contrast is not that high. To show this question can also come, remember this. Okay, to show the contrast कि देखो कितना सारा freedom मिल रहा है केज फ्री बर्ड को, और केज बर्ड को तो है ही नहीं कुछ freedom. So contrast, that's why it is placed one after the other, no? The stanzas. To show what the free bird got and what the caged bird had. Okay. So third one is done. Do you like the poem? Give two reasons to support your answer. This is your value based question. Just like see, this kind of questions are very important these days because CBSE also are moving to these kind of questions. The poem begins by expressing various facilities and freedoms which the free bird get. Also talk about the positivity, the extreme enormous amount of freedom that they get. Talk about that. Talk about the the contrast that is drawn between the caged bird and the free bird. Any opinion, good, bad, but it has to be relevant. That is it. For example, do you like the poem? If you ask me what I can say I do like the poem. Because now you have to give reasons also. I You can simply give this as your answer, no? This poem is written in such a way that the it is kind of autobiographical, where we do understand the problems that the reality, okay, the challenges faced by the African Americans, okay, in the society. It is even prevalent now, although after so many protests and everything, it is still prevalent. We see certain things, certain drastic or sad happenings, okay. So we can talk about that. We can say that here Maya Angelou's plight, PLIGHT, उसका problems जो face करती थी, वो सब कुछ यहाँ पे poem में हमें दिख गया. One reason we have said. Second reason we can say we get a realization of being the privileged and those who are not the privileged. Maybe they are not the blacks and the whites. They can be anything, no? Just like scheduled castes in our society. You give that as a point. Okay. Scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, OBC, other backward classes, ये लोग भी तो बहुत सारे problems face करके आए हैं. Okay. हम अगर सोच ले कि अच्छा we are privileged, we will do anything and everything, that is not right. Because they also, they also have, they are also human beings. उसको भी तो कुछ they also should get, right? There should not be any difference. We understand the importance of equality in all forms of society. Okay, we can write that for question number 4. Okay. Last question, today's last question. How does I like the poem because it shows the reality of Afro Americans. Very good. Point number 1. They were discriminated and not given freedom and opportunities. So, one reason you have said. Another one, you can say this talks about the society, and we as the nation builders, we are young ones, so we are nation builders. From these kind of poems, we understand the importance of equality. Okay. Other standard, human society is brought before us. Yes. The negativity of human society, so that uh, can we write that, ma'am? Please reply. Relevant to the people all over the world who are discriminated. Very good. Not just discriminated, also add that people who are privileged, it will also serve as an eye opener to them. Okay. They will also realize that whatever they are doing, they don't even think about the discriminated people. No? People, Brahmins, did not even think about the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes previously. So they will realize, we will understand the importance of equality. Of course, Anshika. These are very short answer type questions. You may not quote. If you write relevant points, if you can quote, well and good. If you do not want to quote, you have to write proper points. You will get marks. Quoting is very important once you go to class 11s and 12s. Okay. Last question में चलते हैं. How does the poet voice his feelings against oppression? Simply we will write the thing that I have told you in question number 4. How does she voice her emotions against oppression? Okay, we will write guest house part 3. Gorilla in the guest house part 3. What is this? Acha, I did not post it. Okay, I'll see. I'll check. How does the poet voice his feelings against oppression in the poem? Oppression. How do we realize that? Okay, in the poem. See, we see that the caged bird was doubly deprived. Okay, caged bird was doubly deprived. It was just not put in a cage, but its feet was tied, wings were clipped. No, but still it could voice its feelings. It was trying to, the bird, the caged bird was trying to open its throat to sing, just like Maya Angelou was writing poems so that people would read it and realize the plight, okay, that they were in. That when somebody's freedom is denied, the huge number of problems that they have. She has written the poem in such a way, it's one after the other, like once the free bird's condition, once the caged bird condition, just to show it as a contrast that there is so much disequilibrium in a society. There is not a single form of equality in the society, and therefore the counterpart, that means the caged birds, are suffering so largely, and one should realize their condition and freedom should be provided to them. Okay, so both from both the angles we will write these types of answers, not just caged bird, she was opening throat to sing and all. Also talk about Maya Angelou's part. If you have Xavier Pinto's workbook, remember there you have a paragraph about autobiography of Maya Angelou. If you don't have, don't worry, you have my playlist, go there, you will get the answer written over there. Remember to study that and go, you will be able to utilize that in all your answers. Okay. Now tell me if there is any other doubt. We have come to the end of this part. This question paper is done. Discrimination in the society. Very good. All those points that you are saying are correct. Okay. Jahan pe bhi points, whatever I am telling, those are the points that you have missed. Write them down so that you don't miss them during the exam. Tell me if there is any doubt over here in these five questions. No, no, not required. Yusuf, don't attempt an extra question. What happens, I will tell you. I was teaching just a moment back, okay, another class where the student did the same thing. But the problem is if you attempt an extra question, you tend to lose time. Questions भी ऐसे ही रखे जाते हैं ताकि आप enough number of questions, मतलब जो भी है वो ठीक से लिख सको. If you are writing extra question, you will hurry in the other questions. Okay. In that case, what will happen? You will lose mark. First, you write whatever you have to write, then check once. Okay. If you think you cannot check after everything is done, just write one answer, check it once. So that later on you don't feel bored. Check it, then move to the next question. We often, even I, when I write long answer questions, no, for uh, senior students, I tend to, for maybe I have done a mistake in some grammatical mistake here and there. So check it once so that you make no mistakes, then you will score a lot of marks. Okay, those whose pre-board is not yet over, for them also it is applicable. Okay, so that's all. I see you do not have any more doubts. So remember that if you are sharing question papers with me, you can share them, okay, and share clear pictures and scanned pictures, because otherwise it becomes difficult to discuss. It is being very helpful for not just the other children, but also for every single person over here. Even the teachers, they have written to me, some of them follow my YouTube channel, they have also written to me that these question papers are very helpful. Okay, keep sharing them with me and you will also practice well. These are the class timings, take a screenshot so that you don't miss any of the classes. What is the meaning of his shadow shouts on where's not? Ah, it knocked the door and he ran away after a long time. Knocking होता है 10 बजे के बाद knocking शुरू हो जाता है. ये जो where I sit, I will show you one day. Where I sit and teach, no, that is his room actually. When I teach, he sits there beside me. But that is during the normal classes, no, my tuition classes. When I take a online class, I generally close the door, so he cannot come inside and he keeps scratching the door कि अब आने दो, बहुत टाइम हो गया है, स्टूडेंट्स को अब जाने भी दो, इतना क्या पढ़ाना है. Okay, these are the class timings. And yes, last thing, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. One more question I saw. What is the meaning of a shadow shouts on nightmare scream? Shadow shouts. Shadow means what? This one previously also I explained once. You will get this in the playlist in this chapter explanation also. Very simple. Imagine you were having a nightmare. You saw, just like I will give you my example. I went to watch Conjuring movie. Okay, and it was the first part. It was very scary. I felt very afraid of that movie. And cinema hall में कोई नहीं था. Only three of us, three of our friends went. So nobody was there. So we became very afraid. And when I came back home late night, I had a dream. Okay, and I was very scared. Nightmare है ना, so you cannot even come out of your sleep. Okay, you cannot even wake up at your own choice. you want to run away from the ghost, you want to escape, but you cannot escape. So in this kind of a situation, you can scream, you can run, you can do everything, okay, because you are extremely afraid, है ना? So this is kind of a nightmare scream. For what? Because even in the dreams, the the bird feels that he is deprived of freedom. Okay, everything is lost, and therefore uh, he keeps screaming, even just like you are afraid in a nightmare. If you see a nightmare, similar kind of scared that bird is when he comes to know that perhaps he will never be able to get freedom in his lifetime. Autobiography, acha, I will show you. See, if you go, this is the, you have to go to this YouTube channel. I will show you. Here you write, okay, this is my channel. Come here. Once you go here, you will see there is a playlist option. See, home, videos, shorts, live, playlists. So come over here. Once you come here, you will see a lot many playlists are over here. Okay, liked ones, ICC writing skills, ISC writing skills. You don't require these. Move aside, move aside. MCQ questions, ICSE. You see this. Next, you have, see, ICC Play Merchant of Venice. All the 49 videos are there. All the explanatory videos are there. Okay. ICC English Literature Class 9 and 10. If you go here,
Hello, everybody.
okay, so you will see your Caged Bird, Bangle Sellers, Old Man at the Bridge, Patriot, your, what is this? Blue Bead. All your topics are over here. Caged Bird Sings also you will get. Let me see. I guess it must be here. I can check it like this also. Okay. You can give my channel's name and just write. See, you have got it. See, it is mentioned over here: racism, enslavement, autobiography, Jim Crow, title, theme, symbols, contrast, everything is given over here. Okay, simply write Reshma Mukherjee, Caged Bird. Okay, whatever poem you need, first write the name of the channel or my name, and then you write your topic. You will get it, all of it. I guess it is clear, no doubts. And if you want to visit the live classes, for that also you will first prepare the chapters, then you visit the live class. English language tomorrow, day after. So you can simply go to the live class here. Okay, go to my videos, and there you will see the live class. You can practice your grammar paper from here. See, this is the live class. So go to this. Here you will get all the language question papers also in the live class videos. Okay, many grammar questions you will get. You will not have to, you will not even miss a single mark over here. This much I can say. Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye. Hope to meet you Thursday. Thursday is your next class. So from 8:30 p.m. we are going to meet with maybe language topics. Okay, bye bye. Don't forget the class timings. Okay, and don't forget to like also. Bye bye everyone.